So with the elections is around the corner, the big question is, how will the stock market react if we get a Trump versus Kamala scenario? Today, I'm breaking down some stocks that I'm gonna keep my eyes on, depending on who takes the White House. I'll explain why each stock or sector could benefit based on either outcome. Let's dive into this together so we all set to navigate the biggest elections of our lifetime. So first thing first, let's talk about the bigger picture here. Social media is flooded right now with information that drive a lot of people worry about the market tanking if their candidate doesn't win. But history tells a different story here. You might be surprised to know that the stock market doesn't tend to crash just because one party or the other takes office. Check this out. If we look at the US stock market charts, going all the way back to the 1980s, you'll see that regardless of the Republican or Democrat leadership, the market has generally kept going up. Through over 10 different elections, the market has consistently climbed at an average rate around 8% a year. It's a steady trend driven by one main thing: corporate profits. So here's my main message for you. Don't let this election's fear stop you from investing. If major companies are making money, the overall market keeps moving up. Take Apple, for example. Back in 2008, they were making just around $6 billion in profit. Fast forward to last year, they pull in nearly $100 billion. When companies thrive like this, the market keeps pushing forward. So, no matter who's in office, if a company is crushing it, its stock will likely to do well. Another thing to keep in mind is that the S&P 500 isn't just one big lump. It's actually divided into 11 different sectors, like technologies, healthcare, financials, consumer discretionary, retails and restaurants, communication services, industrial, think factories and constructions, consumer staples, of course, energy, utilities, real estate, and materials. Now, some of these sectors are naturally positioned to do well depending on who's in office, and that's where we as investors can take advantage of certain shifts and moves after the elections. Let's break it down by each candidate and how their policy might affect certain sectors. If Trump pulls off a win and returns to the White House, here are some areas I'll be watching based on his past approach and policies. Energy and oil. Trump has typically shown strong support for traditional energy industries like oil and gas. That's why I'll put my money on stocks like ExxonMobil, Chevron, and ConocoPhillips. Under Trump, we'll likely see fewer regulations on fossil fuels, which could mean more profit potential for these companies. If energy stocks are your thing, this could be an area to watch closely. Defensive sector. Trump is known for his support for military spending, so companies in the defensive sector could see some love here if he's back in the office. We're talking about companies like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Raytheon Technologies, with possibility of increased defense contracts. These companies could see strong growth, and honestly, federal contracts are a pretty steady stream of revenue. So these companies could be solid option to consider if Trump takes office. Financial sectors. The Trump administration favored deregulations, especially for the financial sector. If he's back in the office, it might encourage more favorable conditions for banks, making it a good time to look at companies like JP Morgan. I'll put my money on Bank of America or even Goldman Sachs. The banks thrive on policies that allow them to operate with fewer restrictions, so this could be a win for the financial sector. Now, if Kamala Harris wins, certain sectors and stocks could benefit based on Democratic policies. Let's go through what I think would do well in that scenario. Technology. Democrats often focus on issues like data privacy, antitrust, and internet regulations. But at the same time, major tech companies often support Democratic candidates. If Kamala is in office, big tech companies like Google and Microsoft would still have substantial influence. Google and Microsoft dominate the web search market and are significant supporters of the Democratic initiatives here. So if Kamala wins, there's no doubt I'll be putting my money on Google and Microsoft. Healthcare. Remember the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare? Democrats have history of focusing on expanding healthcare access, which could impact the healthcare providers and drug companies. For this reason, I'll keep my eye on Johnson & Johnson and United Health Group. If Kamala is in office, Expanding healthcare access could mean more customers for these companies, which could lead to increased profits. Clean and renewable energy. Unlike Trump's support for fossil fuels, Democrats tend to prioritize green energy and climate initiatives. That's why companies in clean energy could see significant growth if Kamala wins. My top choice here would be Tesla. Tesla electric vehicles fit perfectly into a pro-renewable energy agenda. And as infrastructure for green energy expands, Tesla could be poised for a major growth here. So here's the main takeaway. Who's in the White House can impact which sectors to see some extra gains here. But remember, the overall market isn't dependent on who wins. As long as these companies are profitable, the stock market will keep moving up. Don't let the election noise make you lose the sight of that. There's one thing that I've learned, is that being in this game means staying informed, playing the long game, and knowing where to look based on potential policy shifts. So make sure you're set up to succeed no matter who wins. I hope you found some value in this breakdown. If you're ready to take your investing to the next level, I've made a video to show you how you can actually become a full-time day trader in 2025. Click the link here to find out how, and let's keep learning, keep growing, and get ready to take advantage of this market. See you in the next one.